All right, hi everybody. My name is Adam. I'd like to start off my talk by asking you guys a couple of questions. The first one is, were you aware that you have something in common with these talented people? Denzel Washington, Tina Fey, Sheryl Sandberg, and Maya Angelou? Well, another question is, think back to a time when you were learning something new, or maybe talking to somebody that was smarter than you, or just sharing a piece of your own artwork, really a moment of vulnerability. Did anyone else feel like they were a fraud in that situation? If you did, don't worry, you're not alone. Denzel Washington, Tina Fey, Sheryl Sandberg, and Maya Angelou have all had those feelings in a moment of vulnerability. And to be honest, I had to get past these feelings just to get up on stage here today. I am not technical. I'm a salesperson from VictorOps. I'm terrified of public speaking, and I'm certainly not an expert on this topic. So what is it? Well, the imposter syndrome is when people view themselves as a fraud despite evidence of their accomplishments and success. And they typically dismiss this as a byproduct of luck or timing, or maybe the fact that they've actually conned everyone else into thinking that they're more talented, smarter, or more competent than they really are. And they see other people's accomplishments and attribute that to an inaccurate perception that they have a limited amount of knowledge and other people have this vast and immense amount of knowledge and talent. And that really stems from the fact that we see ourselves from the inside, but we see other people from the outside. So we're not really privy to their fears, regrets, and anxiety, although we have those feelings all the time. So we see other people, especially important people, we think, we're not like them. So how does this apply to DevOps? Well, the S in CAMS stands for sharing, and it really encourages us to share what we learn, even if we're not an expert. And with the pace of technology today, we're really learning all the time. And that's really why we're all here today. You may think that a lot of the topics are over your head, but don't worry. I mean, DevOps is still fairly new, and most people don't have the experience of just attending one DevOps days. Take a look at, take me for example. I'm not in dev and I'm not in ops, but I do help advise our customers every day on this, and I've been in this industry of Agile, Lean, and DevOps for over 10 years, so I can't look at myself as an authority on the subject. So knowing about this syndrome alone won't help keep those negative self-thoughts at bay. So when they creep up, what should we do? Well, I'd like to take the advice of the French philosopher Montaigne. So with this advice, we really can understand what grand and important people are really like. They're just like us. So the first step in really dealing with this syndrome is just to simply recognize when these inner voices are starting to creep up and tell us that we're a fraud. The other piece of advice I can give you is, although you're not really exposed to it, keep in mind that other people's minds work in much the same way that ours do. Other people are anxious. They do have uncertainties, and they have a lot of the same fears that we do. So I really encourage you to share a moment of vulnerability with others. It really helps to increase the connection that you have with them, and it also allows you to really grow both personally and professionally. And we've got a great opportunity to put this to practice here coming up in a few hours at the open space sessions. So we're not all experts on these topics, but it really is important to get awareness into how others are approaching the challenges that DevOps addresses. The other thing is, give yourself permission to be a beginner. You may feel like you're in a room full of experts, but you're going to walk away from this conference with a ton of really good ideas. The other thing I would recommend is really keep your eye out for when these feelings are coming up with other people. If you recognize that, be empathetic and be a supporter and really provide a safe environment for them to share ideas and opinions. And lastly, next time you see this immensely talented actor, Denzel Washington, in a movie, don't forget, he poops too. Thank you.